This is a question worth thinking about. It's a question worth sitting with, reflecting, pausing, taking some time to do an audit. And the question is, are you growing or are you fixed? I'm borrowing from something that has been attributed to one of the Stanford professors. She's called Carol Dweck. And this professor came up with this beautiful, beautiful idea, this concept that in my own experience has been transformational, and this is referred to as the growth mindset. She talks about the growth mindset and she contrasts it with the fixed mindset. And this is building up on what we talked about in a previous video. In the book of Romans, chapter 12 verse 2, Paul talks about transformation. And he ties it, he says the pathway to it is the renewal of our minds. Take note of that present, continuous, that ongoing work by the Spirit of God to change our minds. And neuroscientists have come up with a concept, a word that refers to how the brain is able to keep changing, to keep growing and changing and expanding, and that's called neuroplasticity. And so that is what would be referred to as the growth mindset. The growth mindset is one of the ways of looking at situations and basically things that you go through, reframing them and looking at them, for example, looking at challenges and looking at those as opportunities to learn. So someone who has a growth mindset will go through something. It could be traffic and you know the frustrations of traffic. Perhaps you're running late for a meeting, you're delayed, or you're delaying someone on the other side. And so the normal aspect of looking at this is a frustrating situation. I need to get out of this. But then if you have a growth mindset, you look at challenges as opportunities to learn. And so you quickly reframe. You quickly take another set of lenses at that very situation. And you say, how can I learn from this? And so you could learn, next time I'll leave 10 minutes earlier. Next time I'll be able to leave in sufficient time to factor in traffic. I'm asking you the question, when you look at situations, when you encounter situations, do you encounter them from a perspective of growing, or do you encounter them from a perspective of being fixed? And the fixed one, using that example of challenges, using that example of problems, is that the fixed mindset will not look at it as an opportunity to learn. We'll look at it as a challenge. We'll look at it as, oh no, and go into self-blame mode and all manner of things. So what I want to challenge you with today is, when you step into that situation, it could be at work, it could be at school, it could be in relationships. Are you looking at it from the mindset, through the lenses of growing, or are you looking at it from the perspective of a fixed mindset? I'll be sharing a few more examples, but for today, I'd like to introduce that to you. Perhaps you haven't come across that concept. It's worth looking into. It's called the growth mindset. It's been transformational for me, and I want to commend it to you. It's worth looking at, and it applies to so many other areas. It's not only how we encounter those kind of situations like traffic. It's how we encounter work. It's how we take in feedback. It's how we receive feedback and various other aspects that I'll be highlighting in another video. But for today, I'd like to leave you with that question again. Are you growing? Are you allowing the Spirit of God to do that work of renewing your mind? Neuroplasticity? Is that happening? Or are you fixed? Are you stuck? Are you at a space where you don't want to grow, or you're afraid of growing? Step out. Transform. Thanks for watching.